Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video on Big Time. Today we're going to be talking about cracked hourglasses. Now, hourglasses are the only way you can mint the Big Time token, the crypto asset. You need an hourglass, but you can also acquire cracked hourglasses. Now, you may, at a very, very rare chance, spawn a common cracked hourglass in the game or in your space, or if you don't have a space, you don't have any NFTs, there is a chance, a very small chance, you may still get them. And that kind of gives everyone an introduction into this process. Now, that being said, the luck rate or the drop rate of Big Time with a common cracked hourglass is extremely low. So you may not get any Big Time, but it does let you know how it works. Now, just to talk you through this process, I want you to understand how they spawn in your space, and we're going to cover everything around that in this video right now. These are soul-bound tokens, so they cannot be traded. And how you would acquire them. So Space randomly spawns cracked hourglasses, and larger or higher rarity spaces have higher drop rates. So this is only an illustration and an example, but it says here that a rare space has a 5% chance to drop a cracked hourglass, whereas an exalted space would have a 25% chance to drop a cracked hourglass. Now, these are only examples, they're not typical, and it doesn't mean that that is how it is right now, but it just lets you know that the quality of the space affects your drop rate. We also understand that the drop rate doesn't kick in until at least 48 hours after you've deployed the space. So you'll deploy your space, it will have to be connected to your metaverse, and then after 48 hours, you're eligible for this percent chance of a drop rate. And I believe it resets every 48 hours after that. So the types of cracked hourglasses you can get, anything from common up to legendary. And the way that this works is in your space. If you have a larger space, you may be able to get more than one hourglass at a time. I've seen 2. I've heard you can get up to 3. It depends if you've got a small, medium, or a large space. Maybe there's more, but for now, I've definitely seen 2. And I know that they will appear together, and I'll show you that in a moment. So, when you have the cracked hourglass, it enables players to collect Big Time tokens, but they will vanish from the inventory after the sand runs out. So they'll have a predefined amount of time. Normally, it's about 2 hours. And then after that 2 hours runs out, they will just disappear. There is something else you can do, though. It does say that they are the only way. They have a lower Big Time token generation compared to normal hourglasses, and they are the only way a player without a normal hourglass can generate Big Time. So let's have a look then. So I'm in my space. You can see from this screenshot that I took earlier what it looks like. This is the icon that you will see for a cracked hourglass. Now, you do not see this unless you are within 2 spaces of that hourglass. That means that if I'm further than 2 spaces away, it will not show up on my minimap. So you can't simply just load your minimap and see them. You actively have to go and look around your metaverse to find them. They're also timer bound, and they can appear when you're offline. That means if you take a few days away from the game, there's a chance you'll miss some of these. Understand that your space needs to be deployed and active in the game, and you have to be checking this pretty much daily to make sure that you have not missed anything. And so with that in mind, this is what it looks like when you see your available cracked hourglass. And as you go up to it, this is what it looks like. So I'm now in the room. You can see here I have a rare cracked hourglass, and I can pick it up or get full details. I walk over it and I pick it up, and it will go into my inventory. And so that's what it looks like. Different ones have, you've got different colors. You've got common, uncommon, rare. You've got epic, and you've got legendary. And so once they're in your inventory, they look just like this. So I'm going to go ahead, going to go into my inventory right now. I'm going to go across to my collection. Going to click on my hourglasses, and you'll see in here we've got these cracked hourglasses alongside the normal ones. Now, if I go into any time warden, I'm just going to use a common time warden. But if I go into any time warden, I can go to dismantle. And this will only now show my cracked hourglasses. So I could just apply these to my character, or I can dismantle them. So let's just go back, go into my inventory, and here I can equip my hourglasses. So I would simply take my cracked hourglass, I would apply it, and that is now live. You can see it circling around my character, and there is my epic hourglass. Okay, I'm now going to go ahead and take that off because obviously I don't want to waste it. And I'm going to go back over here to show you the other way. So inside here, if I go to dismantle, I can then take this. So I believe I have one here that has 2 hours. Okay, so now I've put this into here. It tells me that I need to spend whatever the cracked hourglass is plus 26 time crystals. Now I have another one here which is rare, and this one also takes 26 time crystals. So that seems to be consistent, depending on the rarity, seems to be the same. You can also speed it up by spending more time crystals. And a time crystal is approximately 1 cent, which means this is going to cost you 26 cents to be able to craft this. And it takes 3 hours of your time. At the moment, that is regardless of quality. So if it's a rare or an epic, it still takes 3 hours. So if I was to speed this up and pay the difference, it's going to take, it's normally about 150 roughly. So it's going to cost you about $2 to be able to break this down and speed up the process. And this is going to get me, for a rare, 30 big time. Now, if I was to use an epic, I would get 34 big time. Now, if you were to use these, and I'm going to show you an example of one that has run down here. So I've got one here that has less time. This has 1 hour 41 on it. It's going to take less time crystals, but I'm also going to get less big time as a result. So the quality regarding the time left, as that drops down, you get less rewards from it. So please just bear that in mind. All right, so looking at this 2 hours here, we can see that it's going to give us 34 as a result. It's going to cost us 26, and it's going to take 3 hours. Now, I actually have one right now that is dismantling. So you can see here, I'm going to get my big time tokens, and I'm going to get them in 1 hour and 25 minutes. So we wait for that. Once we've got that, we simply have our tokens. You can leave these in your inventory, and as your space becomes available, as your workshops become available, you can change those out and swap them over. So that's everything you need to know. Now, in terms of getting the big time, that's one thing you can do with these. The other thing you can do, as I mentioned, is equip them, and you can go and run dungeons, and you can do it this way as well. But the only thing to consider here if you're doing this is that your rare cracked hourglass has a luck rate of 19.5, and the epic has a luck rate of 22.5. Now, I believe that the common has a luck rate of about 15. Compare that to the luck rate of a normal hourglass, which is 92. So an epic cracked hourglass has a luck rate of 22, whereas a common normal hourglass has a luck rate of 92. All right, and so understanding the difference there between the cracked hourglass and the drop rate. If I was to run 5 common hourglasses in a prestige dungeon at around level 30, roughly, I'm going to look at something between 25 to 50 big time tokens in a party of 6 if we're quite efficient. And that's going to take me about 30 minutes to clear that dungeon on average right now. That's subject to change. So this way you can get an idea of what you can earn and how you can do this as a result. And again, this drop rating, you might see significantly less as a result of that. So right now, the best play at this moment of recording this video is definitely to dismantle them. But in doing so, you're using up that space that could otherwise be used for something else. So you have to take in all factors of consideration. If you want to extract bid time from the platform, you have to pay a fee for that. There's like a $1.50 gas fee, then your conversion rate. So and then if you're going to use that to buy some more time crystals to be self-sustaining, to come back into the economy to do that again, you can make profit doing that, but just understand your margins. That would be my recommendation. Hope this video has been helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again soon.